Hey everyone, Arteza here, and today I decided to make a video about different ways to color your drawings. I just had some inspiration and I want to show you 4 creative ways to color and use line art. I prepared 4 sketches of the same drawing to show you the different ways. Let's get started with the first way, which I call the traditional way of coloring. When you use the traditional way, I mean that you use the common way to draw and color your work. And by the common way, I mean using realistic and natural colors and using a standard black fineliner to line your work. You basically use realistic colors which would make sense in the real world. For example, grass is green and the sky is blue. I hope you understand what I mean by this. And most artists start out using this way to color their work. And there is nothing wrong with that, of course, but there are so many other ways to color your work as well, and that is what I will show you with the other ways, and hopefully I can inspire you to think out of the box while coloring your work. And for this painting I use my Winsor Newton watercolor palette because it really has those nice natural realistic colors. And I also use my aqua brush. All the materials are listed in the description box, and of course feel free to ask me about the materials I use, because I'd love to help you out and give you some tips. So let's move on to the second way to color your work. To make your drawings and illustrations look more interesting, you can decide to pick a different color scheme. For this one, I use black and white and only one highlight color. This highlight color will really make the drawing look appealing and interesting. And as you can see, I do not line the whole drawing, because this is another way to do it. You use the color to draw and create shapes, so you won't have a line art everywhere. This effect really makes it look more like an illustration than a drawing. And I also use the technique cross-hatching for her sweater to add some texture to the drawing. Don't be afraid to try different things. Trying different things can really help you improve, and maybe you even discover a style or a new way of coloring which you like more than the one you have now. So my advice to you all is to try different things and go wild and be creative. So for the third way, I'm going to use 2 colors with a strong contrast and a line art with the same color as one of the 2 base colors. In my case, I'm going to use purple and orange, so I pick a purple fineliner to line the drawing. Using a fineliner in the same shade as one of the base colors will really bring the drawing together, and it has a nice effect. Using colors with a strong contrast will make your drawing look more interesting and eye-catching. Colors with the biggest contrast are also called complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite to each other on the color wheel. Try experimenting with complementary colors and find out which combination you like best. And to finish this drawing, I also add some texture to a sweater by drawing stripes. Adding texture in your art, such as stripes and dots or cross-hatching, will help guide your viewer through your drawing. It helps to distinguish objects from each other, which make the drawing more pleasant to look at. The final way I'm going to show you is using 3 base colors and a different line art color. I chose my favorite color combination for this drawing, which is blue, pink and yellow. These colors will always work well together because they're basically the 3 primary colors, only in a lighter, more pastel shade. For this way, I decided to start with the coloring first instead of doing the line art first, because I will not use much line art for this drawing. I start to color over the sketch with the 3 base colors. And a nice tip I have for you guys is to make the colors look balanced. I advise to make a thumbnail before you start coloring your work. A thumbnail is another sketch of your final work, which you can work on to decide the colors, and you can basically experiment with different color ideas and contrasts. And this way you can bring harmony in your coloring. And what I mean by harmony is try to use the colors equally. For example, do not put all the blue colors at the top and all the pinks at the bottom. And for the line art, I pick a sepia color and I use a brush to define some lines, but not all. I only define her face and her hands, and I also add some texture with drawing some thin lines on her hair. I use this sepia color to add some detail to the drawing. Make it special and be as creative as you like. So these were the 4 different ways I wanted to show you, and of course there are many more ways to color your work, but I hope that I gave you some inspiration to start out trying something else. I also wanted to show you that you don't always need to stick with the traditional way of coloring and using a line art. Try experimenting and maybe you discover a new way to draw. So try different contrasts, colors and textures, and play around with the way you can use a line art. So that's it for this video, and I really hope you liked it, and let me know in the comments which way you like most. I'll see you soon everyone, and don't forget to give a like and subscribe for more art videos. Bye bye!